Disclaimer: this is a fiction interview with a fictional celebrity. All dialogue is imagined. The concepts expressed are accurate in the creator's opinion. Today we are here to discuss the Islamic concept of jihad with Ibrahim Hoopster, spokesman for Cabal for America under Islamic regulations. Welcome, Ibrahim.
Please, call me Abe, Honest Abe.
Okay, Abe. Most people understand jihad to be a struggle engaged in by Muslims to advance Islam. It can take the form of military, economic, legal, educational, social, or terroristic activities.
Whoa, stop right there.
Most often we see Muslim leaders calling for jihad in violent terms associated with military campaigns or encouraging terrorist attacks against non-Muslims.
But that's not what jihad means. Jihad has nothing to do with violence.
A few recent examples include the massacre of 3,000 innocents on September 11, 2001, Sudan's slaughter of 2 million non-Muslims, Egyptian killing of Christian families, decapitations of Turkish priests and Indonesian schoolgirls, the slaughter of patients at a Fort Hood medical clinic, London and Madrid train bombings, the burning of 200 tourists in Bali, viciously gunning down hundreds of Russian school children, and countless other terrorist plots.
But you have it completely wrong. None of those people were doing jihad. Their actions have nothing to do with Islam.
They cited Islam as their prime motivation. Their attacks targeted non-Muslims. They, themselves, disagree with you. Are you saying they don't know what they did or why they did it?
What I mean is that they do not understand Islam. Anyone who does such actions misunderstands the religion of peace. Jihad is a peaceful internal struggle to be a better person and a better Muslim.
Perhaps to you it is, but why then do vast number of Muslims understand jihad to mean a free license to attack, kill, rob, rape, or enslave any non-Muslim?
Those are not real Muslims.
Then what are they?
They are people confused by extremists who try to distort Islam to achieve their own selfish desires.
But there are hundreds of millions of Islamic supremacists supporting violent jihad against innocent non-Muslims. They seem certain they are following Muhammad's example. What makes you think they misunderstand Islam? Maybe you are the one who misunderstands its true nature.
How can you, an infidel and a woman, question my words and the nature of Islam?
What reason do I have to take your word over the words of the jihadis? Those who study Islam the most are also the most prone to violence and genocide in the name of Allah. Islamic scholars and leading imams routinely justify and inspire violence using the words of the Quran. They studied Islamic texts more thoroughly than you. Don't you think they may understand it better than you?
No, I understand it perfectly.
Then why not condemn them? You should be trying to save Islam from their vile influence. Should not it be your highest duty to purge your religion of these disgusting Muslim terrorists who defame your precious Islam? Do you honestly believe they misunderstand your faith? If so, why have you not orchestrated a fatwa against them?
I am here today to educate your audience about the superiority of Islam, not to discuss the beliefs of noble but misguided people who have been led astray.
You avoided the question. They've been led to violent jihad by words in the Quran and by Islamic scholars who have more knowledge about the texts than you do. Where is your evidence that they are misguided? Please show us the evidence. Better yet, present it to those jihadis you claim are misguided. Perhaps you'll realize they represent the true Islam and your words are designed to hide the true nature of Islam from us infidels.
Now I am offended. You have offended the religion of peace by doubting its peaceful nature.
Your fellow Islamic jihadis would say you offend true Islam by claiming jihad is not the violent act Muhammad intended.
What are you saying?
Listen, I have many friends who are ethnically Muslim. We have fun together, we drink alcohol, they don't hide their faces, they don't support terrorists, they don't seek to change our society, but they are basically clueless about the Islamic texts. You might consider them lapsed Muslims. They are the ones who may subscribe to your concept of an internal jihad. The problem is, if they try to become a better Muslim and actually follow the teachings of the Quran, they find they are obligated to change dramatically. They withdraw from non-Muslim society, become religiously arrogant bigots, and begin either funding violent jihad or traveling to a terrorist training camp. What causes this? Sorry, Abraham, unless you can provide contrary evidence, you have to conclude the problem lies in the texts and traditions of Islam itself.
What if I refuse to agree with you?
You can go freely practice your internal jihad. It is inconsequential to us. Your definition is of no help in understanding the motivations of the masses of Muslims who celebrate violent and stealth jihad. The rest of us will focus on the definition of jihad that has relevance to the world, that of Islam-inspired war and terrorism, secret sabotage of societies, and insatiable conquest.
But that isn't correct. Let me tell you about the real Islam, my Islam.
Whether you admit it is correct or not, that is the definition we must pay attention to, because it is that definition that threatens the murder of our children. If you honestly believed in a benign definition of jihad, then you would feel obligated to stamp out the violent jihadis.
I will not stamp out anyone who aspires to be devout Muslim.
Perhaps you are simply lying. Islamists justify such deception in the service of jihad. You call it taqiyya, correct? It is the obligation of jihadis to practice deception and trickery to advance the extermination or enslavement of all non-Muslims.
I would not lie to you. I don't want to enslave you.
Unfortunately, because of the Muslim concept of taqiyya, I know that is exactly what a violent jihadi would say to put me off guard as he plotted my demise.
Yes, I understand, but please believe me.
Sorry, believing you is not logical. A peaceful Muslim would talk as you do, but a violent Muslim would say the exact same words out of deception. We must prepare to deal with the worst case. Thus, the only reasonable stance is to assume you secretly seek genocide.
What can I do to convince you?
Perhaps you could proactively counter violent jihad by your actions. That may indicate you are serious.
Oh, I will never turn against my Muslim brothers, you infidel kafir bitch.
Very well, go pretend you struggle internally with your pseudo-jihad and faux Islam. The rest of us will do the responsible thing and fight the violent jihadis spawned by Islamic texts. We would like to thank the Hoopster for an illuminating discussion. Good night.